All right. Welcome to another great episode of In the Mix with the Mitchells. I am Tony Mitchell.
And I am Sunita Mitchell.
And we are the perfect family blend. And as you can see, we are having so much fun as we are here. More summertime fun as we celebrate the summer. And we're going to talk all things fun this month in July. And we have some special very guests that are going to come on this show that we're going to bring on. But right now, we're going to do some announcements.
Right. So, listen, it's summertime, but guess what? We still have work to do. We still are working. We're still looking to serve the community. And so, as many of you know, we have a nonprofit, Anaya's Project, which focuses on pregnancy and infant loss families who are dealing with fertility issues, and we help support those families during their time of need. Right? And so, as many of you know, we have our upcoming Begin Again brunch. Woo! For Anaya's Project, which is sold out. We have met the capacity.
Sold out.
Yes, for the free brunch. It was a free brunch we were offering to our friends, family, and our community. And so we're excited. We have met the number. So once we are able to get more of you giving and more of you making donations, we can expand the number. But for this year, we have met the cap. We wanted to do something different this year. We wanted to make sure that we had one free event. But how many of y'all know that it's never really free, right? The caterer, she's not free. The space is not free, right? But for the people participating, we wanted to make sure that we had one free event. And so that's going to be on August the 10th.
Yes.
And then we have our walk that is coming up on October 12th. Woo! So grab your pink and blue. Listen, it's all about fun. We know that we have a cause that is sad. You know, for most people, you think it's sad and it's way down. But guess what? It is really about uplifting and encouraging families. Listen, you can come out and support.
Right.
Just come out and support the awareness. October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, and we will be at the beautiful Watkins Park right up in Upper Marlboro. Please, we're asking everyone to wear your pink and blue, which is the color of the ribbon for Pregnancy and Infant Loss Month and infertility. Make it fun. We're asking you wear your tutus. We're going to have music. We're going to have a 1K race for the children.
Right.
If you register before the end of July, actually August, we extended it to August. If you register before the end of August, so August 30th?
30th, right.
August has 30 days. So August 30th, the registration fee is $35. You will go to Run Sign Up, and you will see Anaya's Walk of Love. The cost is $40 now because the early registration was $35, and you still have time to get the $35 registration if you register before the end of July. But because I'm already in August, I keep thinking it's August. It's not August yet.
Not yet.
But if you register before July 31st, the registration fee is $30, I believe. I don't have it right here, but it's $30, but it goes up to $40 at the end of August. So you want to go ahead and register and get those t-shirts. Get a team. Come on, 1 in 8. Okay, 1 in 8 will deal with fertility issues. 1 in 4 will deal with pregnancy loss. Let's go out here and support those families. It's also a fundraiser for Anaya's Project. It's about getting into the community, but it's also about a fundraiser. So help us raise the awareness and gain funds so that we can continue to do the work. For the Perfect Family Blend, Listen, we were prepared to do our first Prepare and Enrich series on August 3rd. However, we've had a conflict in our schedule, so we're going to have to push back the date. But listen, we're going to do it more towards the end of August. August 17th is the date that we're looking at to have the first session for the premarital courses. So for all of you who are watching and have, you're either thinking about being married or you are already engaged to be married, go to our website on theperfectfamilyblend.com and sign up for our premarital class. It is we are legitimate,
we're
certified trainers for Prepare and Enrich, and we're excited about helping families even before they get started. And so you can learn more about both of these organizations and what we have coming up by texting BLEND, all together, BLEND, capitalized, to 345-345. And if you text the word ANGEL, all capital letters, ANGEL, at 345-345, you will get all of the information that I just mentioned to your telephones, and you'll be on our newsletter, so you will know what is happening. Who just said, Sean Johnson. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Saying hi to us. So thank you for joining. And so those are really our announcements. We did our first the blend factor. That was very well. We'll do the blend factor again in September. We're going to space it out. So the next one will be in September. And we'll have that information coming, the blend factor.
Yes.
We have a lot of other good things coming up that Tony is really taking charge, and I'm really excited to be announcing those things really soon. So let's go ahead and get into our topic for tonight. Now, we will have our special guests come up soon, but we have 12 things to go through, and before they come up, I want to kind of get through some of them before we bring them up. So it's summertime, and the Perfect Family Blend is all about families and joining together and getting along. And sometimes, for some people, maybe you already have your children, who are not there longevity. They're not there all year. They may only come for the whole summer. So what do you do? What do you do when you haven't had the children all year? You not to say you haven't had them, but you may have had them on the weekends. But now they're here, full-fledged, in for the whole summer.
Or I remember one conference that we went to. It was actually a bonus mom who, for the very first time, was getting to meet her bonus children and for the summer. Yeah. And so, how do you set the expectations being the bonus mom to your bonus children that you're meeting for the very first time, to make sure that you don't overdo or you don't
set the bar so high
that you can't meet that bar on a consistent basis, or you undervalue the experience so low that they don't even want to come back for a summer visit.
Right. So how do you prepare? Right. So number one, biological parents should make time in their schedules to hang out with their biological children. It's like I can hear the echo. As much as a child may like their step parent, their summertime visit is really about spending time with the biological parent. So listen, as much as the step parent is a part of the life, that child is really coming, as this is saying, is really coming to spend time with their biological dad or mom, right? And so they need to make sure that you're infusing some time to be with that child, right? It's not anything against any bonus parent or, a step parent. It's not saying that you're not valued. And, it's just saying that sometimes it's just like in our home, we try to spend time with each child. And so with this child coming in to spend time with the biological mom or the biological parent, they need to make sure that you have, carved out some time where it's just you and that child,
Right.
Right? Because they're not there all the time. So you want to be able to create those memories like we were talking about last week, creating memories with that child, just with you.
Right.
You know, I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, I can kind of identify with that too, because I can remember one occasion where I went to go visit my dad in San Antonio, and he was married to my then bonus mom. And I went to basically spend time with both of them, but my intentions was I want to really spend time with my dad.
Right.
You know, you're nice and everything. Right. You're fun, but I really came here to see my dad.
Right.
So, and he did make sure that he spent time just with me. We went to do a couple things, just me and him, and we did things as a family. Right. As a whole, and that meant a lot to me because he saw it as value of, hey, I'm going to spend some time with you to get to know you even better, and then I'm going to bring all of us together so we can all have fun and spend time.
Right, and it's no, it's no shade to the step-parent that the child wants to spend time with their biological parent. Mm-hmm. And I think it takes a big person to say, you know, okay, you should encourage that. It's not, and especially if you do have children together, and then you have the bonus, then you have the child coming in for the summer, it's like they need that time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they don't see their biological parent every day, or maybe, just depending on what those arrangements are, it's just good to spend that time with your parent. You know what I mean? And so that's important. I really like that part. Number 2, biological and summer step parents should plan team building activities to strengthen the blended family. Excuse me. So, team building activities, right? You should see yourself as a team.
Right.
You shouldn't be at odds. Now, you should have a plan, right? You shouldn't just blindly go into...
We're just going to wing it.
Wing it. And winging it is good sometimes because we talked about the fun last week. One of the F words we had was being flexible. Right? You don't want it so rigid that fun, but you need to have a plan. Right. It just makes things better. And the activity should be, first word, fun and encouraging, and promote healthy family discussions. I don't know what's in my throat. So, it's important to have those team building activities so that you can be cohesive. And that was something else we talked about in the word fun, was united. And so in order for you to be united, you got to have a plan. And team building, you're doing it together. Number 3. Biological parents should make sure that their children have structured activities to do during the day. I'm telling you, I am a stay-at-home businesswoman, right? And so we have these 2 little people who are at home during the day, and I am like, what was I thinking? I didn't plan nothing for them to do. This is the first summer that I have not had something to do every day. But guess what? They look forward to that. Our daughter said, Mommy, we haven't been on any field trips yet. And I was like, you know what? We haven't, because I used to keep them very busy during the summer because they need something to do. No matter what age the child is. It's not if they're just toddlers and young adolescents. Them teenagers need something to do, because otherwise they will just stay in their room, eat your food,
become have no interaction with you.
They're just a little hermits. Just come out when it's feeding time. It's time to eat, because here come the teenager, right?
Exactly.
So that's the only time you see them. And so we need to make sure that we're having them in some sort of camp, some sort of group, some summer school. Even consider it's not bad if you have to put your smaller children even in a daycare program. It's not taken away from your visitation, but guess what? If you still have to work and you still have things to do, or maybe you just not that good planner, put them somewhere where they're going to have structure and where they're going to have some things to do, and then you can just pick them up and do, some light stuff. You know what I mean? So
right, I like that too. You even if you put them in a summer camp or you put them in a daycare situation, when you pick them up, just like you said, plan something that you do after that. Like, hey, we're gonna go get some ices, or we're gonna go get some ice cream. It doesn't have to be
major.
Yes, it's give them something to look forward to. When they know you're coming to pick them up, they know, hey, I know we're going to do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but I know we're going to go and do something after she comes picks us up. Yeah. So that brings excitement when they're counting down the clock on, okay, I know they're coming to pick me up, and I know we're going to do something.
Right. So it's important to, have something for them to do. A camp. Maryland, like for Maryland, those of you who are watching who are in Maryland, most states have a national parks and planning. And a lot of those camps, yes, I know it's July, it's already mid-July, and a lot of times they're already filled, but there's still some spaces open, and they'll have like a 2-week camp, you know what I mean, or a 1-week camp. So sign your children up, even if it's for a week, that's a week of something for them to do that's, getting them out and engaged and really getting them involved. So those are one way you can do that to find some activities. This is important, which I saw. It was saying that you should create, biological and summer step parents should create a space for the child or children who will be staying in the home during the summer. Listen. Nobody likes to show up as a guest and feel like they're the guest. Like, you go somewhere and you just feel like they not prepared. You sleeping on the couch. Not because that's all they have, but just, you didn't even prepare a place for me. And when I arrived, you're like, okay, so, for now, just kind of put your bag right here, and today you're going to sleep here, and tomorrow you're going to be over there, and, we'll work something. No. When this child or children arrive, they need to know that you have taken the time to find out what room they're going to sleep in. What are their sleeping arrangements going to be? Where are they going to be? Where can they put their stuff? Where can they unpack? They shouldn't be packing out stuff from their bag every night. They got to come sleeping out of a bag because you don't even have a drawer, a dresser for them. Go to IKEA and get one of those little bins. They got the little cute bins that you get the little boxes, and you can use that to put your children's clothes in if you just, all the dresses are full, all the clothes. Have something to make it seem like this is their own space. Okay, especially, space can be tight, but, have a space for them to go to that's their own.
Right, and you don't want your bonus children to feel like they're just the odd man out and they're just there to just occupy space and then you're ready for them to go, because that's the impression that you're going to give to them if you don't have anywhere for them to go, or just like Sunita said, hey, you're going to sleep on the couch for tonight, then we'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. That just means you're just here to preoccupy time. And once your time is up, you'll go back to where you are, and then everything will be level set. Right. Don't set that expectation from the very beginning, because pretty much after that, they're pretty much, they're tuning you out at that point.
Because they should come in and feel like this is just their house. You know what I mean? Like this is where they live, and this would be their room. You know what I mean? And whether they're coming for the weekend, like I said, it's some parents only get them full-time during the summer, or they get them on the weekends. Now, the weekends is different because maybe, it'd be nice if you have a room for them. But if you don't and they have to share a room, share a bed, that's one thing. But if they're coming for the summer, let's really put a little bit more effort in making sure that they have their own space. And then the next one was number 5, which was biological and summer step parents should get plenty of rest. Woo! Can we say that R word? Rest. Right? There's nothing wrong. And it's hard for me. I know. It is so hard for me to not have the rest where you're not doing something. So if you are that parent that is not used to a child being in your home every day. Say you are a blended family and your child, say Tony, came in the marriage with a teenager or a young adult, right? But he married me and I have small children, right? Mm-hmm. And so my small children are coming in the summer. Well, there's a difference in the lifestyle because having a teenager or a young adult in your home, you don't have to do as much.
Right.
Right? You don't have to cook. You don't have to prepare a meal. You don't have to really go grocery shopping if you don't want to, because the teenager and the young adult, they can go do, they might be having jobs. Your young adult is in college, or they are able to go to the store and, you can give them money. Just here, take the car, go get you something to eat. I'm good with salad. Right? But when you have smaller children coming in, that's a whole nother scene. When you got older children, everybody would sleep to about 10, 9 o'clock. Everybody coasting, nobody bothering you. They can cook their own meals. They can do a whole lot of stuff. But when you have 4 and 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds even, you don't really want them going in the kitchen unsupervised. I don't care how well trained they are. Nobody in my house, put it this way, nobody under my house under the age of 13, 14 is going in the kitchen and turning on my gas stove and start cooking without me being downstairs, looking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a whole nother stress. That's a whole nother level of, you got to be engaged more. You got to have some parameters. You got to have child proofing. You got some other things that you wouldn't normally do, which can wear a parent who is not used to that or haven't done it in a long time, can wear you out. Mm-hmm. And so you want to make sure that you are allowing for some downtime. Right? So if you're not used to going all day, then that is not going to be your thing. You need to make sure that you have infused the day. Like Tony is like this when we go on vacation. Give me 3 days. If we're going somewhere for a week, 7 days, he's saying give me 3 days where we do nothing. Because me, I like to be like, we're going to the beach this day. We're going to Six Flags this day. If we're in Williamsburg, we're going down to the beach on this day. We're going to Busch Gardens. Then we're going to Water Country. We're going here. We're going there. And sometimes Tony's like, what's the point in having a good room if you ain't going to be in it? So he likes to be like in the room, chill out. Maybe go to the pool, but like not stay all day. So make sure you're infusing whatever you call relaxation into your summer, okay? It don't all got to be, trips and spending money. Some of those days you just might stay at the house, okay?
And sometimes you just got to put on your schedule. Hey, we're just going to rest on this particular day. And there's nothing wrong with that because you have to recharge. Mm-hmm. You're not a robot. You're not a machine that just keeps going. You have to at some point get some rest to break from all the fun that you're having. And then once you're resting, you're rejuvenated, hey, you could go back and have more fun.
Right. And also making sure that you're still maintaining your good sleep habits. I know in the summer, especially with us, we've been bad.
Yes, we've been very bad.
These kids ain't been going to bed till about 11, 12 o'clock, Mm-hmm. And so that can be draining even, for me, with them being there all day, and sometimes they don't even take a nap. I mean, I will send them to their room for their quiet time, but they don't take a nap. So mentally, emotionally, physically, that can be exhausting on a person every day. So you want to make sure that you're still maintaining the balance of their sleep routines and yours,
Right.
So it's good to stay up, have those late nights, but, try to balance that with your regular routine. Okay. Um, Summer biological parents should collect any documents that are necessary for travel to maintain the child's health and or enroll them into summer programs or activities. So this is important because I know, like, if you're going out of the country, you need to have passport, you need to have, immunizations. But it's important to have those documents with you because, if you're not there on a day-to-day basis with your child, then you may not, the other biological parent may inform you, but it's good to have that so that you can know what types of things your child has been through, or if you're sending them to a camp, they're definitely going to want to know shot records.
Yes.
If what are they allergic to? All of these things need to be filled out, and those are just important to have, just in case your child does. Like when we went to Williamsburg and Sammy got sick.
Exactly.
Right? He ended up getting sick and was in the hospital, had pneumonia, like all of these things. And so I couldn't imagine if one of us weren't there, what that would have did to the person who took them. You know what I mean? So make sure that when you're going away, you have those papers with you. And, EpiPens, inhalers, knowing what medicine it is, so that if you do have to go to a CVS down in Williamsburg or Florida or California, wherever, that you know exactly what medicines your child needs.
Yeah, and the good thing for us, Sunita mentioned, we went on vacation one time and Sammy got sick and we had to take him to the hospital. It's good for you to know if you're going on a vacation, you're going to a location, know where the nearest hospital is at.
Yeah.
Because where we were staying, the hospital was nearly five minutes away. And that was
a blessing.
That was a blessing because we really needed to get him to that hospital. So definitely, you want to check out the amusement parks, you want to check out all the fun sites. Just as a contingency plan, make sure you know all the nearest
the hospitals. Make sure you got your health coverage. Because sometimes parents don't have the, you may not have your child on your insurance plan. It may be on the biological parent who normally has the child. And so you want to make sure that you get the copy of that insurance card so that you can, in case of emergency, that child is covered. Okay. Right. Number 7, custodial biological parents should discuss summer living arrangements with the child. So again, it goes back to the being prepared, but you need to talk to the child about what it's going to be, how is it going to be, where are they going to stay, right? Because how are they going to travel? How are they going to get to you? You need to be talking to the child about that, not, okay, tomorrow, you're going to your dad's house and, he coming to pick you up, or you got to get on a plane, or you got to get on a train. Like, they should know before the day before, right, on what those plans are going to be. And you need to be the one that tell them, not, again, you want to hear it from the biological parent. Number 8, non-custodial biological parents should increase communication with the child as the time approaches. Okay, so again, I know this is case by case. We know that there are some really wild and crazy stories, and everybody doesn't have a kumbaya moment, you know what I mean? And everybody's not able to talk to their children. Because to me, when I first read that, I was like, why would you just need to all of a sudden increase talking to your child? You should be talking to your child all the time. But then I sat down and thought about it. Sometimes the other parent may not allow you to speak to the child as much, right. Or maybe, you travel. I'm just trying to wrap my head, but there are some extenuating circumstances where you may not be able to talk to, a biological parent may not be able to talk to their child every day or every other day or once a week or twice a week, once a month, so for those instances, you want to make sure that you're picking it up because you're showing, because you're going to need to know what do they like to do, where do they like to go, what are some hobbies that they like, what is it that they want to do.
Exactly.
Do they have some suggestions? What would they like to see? What are some of their favorite foods, so that you can have all of these things so that when they arrive to your home, they're comfortable. They're seeing some things that are reflective of who they are and what they like to do, and so it's just good if you haven't, had that opportunity to speak to them, that you do increase that time. So if you only talk to them once a week, maybe you start picking it up and saying twice a week so they can get more used to you.
And that's just all about being intentional, because just like you said, if you're increasing the communication with them and you're finding out what they would like to do, and say for instance they say, you ask, hey, what you like to eat or anything like that, and then when they finally come and you have all those things ready and prepared for them, they're just like, oh, they really listen to me. So that means a lot to a child. It means a lot to an adult.
Yeah.
So just be intentional about in the communication aspect and following through, because that means a whole lot.
And this is key to number 9, which is inform the child of the rules, right? So they're going from one house to another house. This is so big.
One set of rules to
your set of rules. No rules to rules. Right? Right? So prime example is when my oldest used to go and stay over at his dad's house. Like, totally different, right? Loosey-goosey rules. You can do what you want, eat what you want, stay up late as you want, come in when you want, do what you want to do, right? Not so when you come back to my house, right? Where you going? You need to be back home by this time. You got chores, you got things you need to do. Totally different. And it's important that you remind children, teenagers, that you're now leaving one place and coming to another place. Because this is key, because it's just like you're preparing them for the real world. Right. Because what you do at home, you ain't going to be able to do at work. Mm-hmm. Right? When I went to my grandmother's house, okay, I couldn't do, because I know some people are like, well, that's work. Of course that's different. But when I went to my grandmother's house, there were certain things that just I didn't do at my grandmother's house. Like, for example, okay, everybody, we in this black community, right? Thunderstorm, right? Thunderstorm at my grandma's house meant you sat down, you didn't do anything, you couldn't move while God was doing his business outside. We sat down. In my house, just another day, right? I could walk around, I could do what I want to do, I could, be on the phone if I wanted to be on the phone. Grandma's house, thunderstorm, the first piece of lightning that she saw, hang up the phone, get off the phone. I knew the rules, right? Same thing, going to my auntie's house. Go to her house. We ate dinner at a certain time. We ate together. We, go to bed by 9. She ain't care. 9 o'clock, we in the bed. But it's something. 9 o'clock, right? We in the bed at 9 o'clock, and she meant lights out, right? There's no TV. We in the room watching TV at 9. No, she meant lights out. That's it. You wake up tomorrow, you can watch all the TV you want, right? Rules. So it's important that, and I'm saying all that because children are able to adapt to the environments that they are at. But you have to set the rules. And not only do you set the rules, you have to execute your rules. Because the moment that children realize that you don't take your own rules seriously, then you can't expect them to.
And they're going to run over you.
And they're going to run and do what they want to do. And then when you finally do decide to put your foot down, it's going to be difficult because you did not adhere to your own rules, Right? And I mean, it's one thing to be like, okay, you going to bed at 9, but then like tomorrow, because y'all gone somewhere and you went somewhere, you didn't get back to like 10, 11, or they're just like, you know what, y'all can hang out tonight. That's one thing. But then you got to go back the next day and say 9 o'clock, I'm going to bed, right?
Exactly.
So you got to give them rules, because then they know what kind of choices they're making. And then when you come at them for maybe breaking a rule, they're not totally off guard because you just came out of nowhere with these rules that's in your head. You assume that they know. And the worst thing we can do as parents is assume that your child know something. You know what I mean? They know better, or they know not to touch that, or they know not to. No, you need to tell them so they know, and you're going to have to constantly reinforce and remind them.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the movie Boys in the Hood when Trey was staying with his mom.
Out of all the movies,
and you know, Trey, when he was staying with his mom, the rules, you know, he wrote the rules on a piece of paper and he was supposed to follow the rules, no fighting at school, no disrespecting the teacher and so forth. And, you know, he was just like, whatever, got in the fight. Then it was like, okay, you know what was going to happen. You was going to go and stay with your dad if you broke the rules. So when he moved in with his father, you know the rules of the house.
Right.
And he strictly enforced the rules.
Yeah.
And it made him better for it. So and I say that to say, if the biological parents are at a point where they could discuss, okay, what are your set of rules that you use in your house, you know, so that I could get an idea of what they're used to, you know, before I get them. You know, if you can have that kind of conversation, if you're at that level, then have it. But, you know, still, wherever rules are applied to your house, enforce all your rules.
And that goes back to being a team, because even though, in my house is one thing, and at the co-parent's house it's another thing. And so when the child complains, because when you do call, you should be calling to check on your child. Mm-hmm. And so when they complain, oh, well, they don't let me go out, we got to go together. Like, this is not your time to come in and be like, well, why they doing that? I always let you go to the playground by yourself. I always let you go ride around the corner, I let you hang out till 11 o'clock. Why do you need to go to bed? Like, that is not the time. So as a co-parent, you want to just be like, well, honey, that is their rule while you're in their house. This is their level. Everybody has their level of comfort, right? They have their level of comfort, which says that you need to be in the bed by 9 o'clock. Mommy might say you can stay up to 11, but you're at daddy's house, and so daddy's rule is daddy's rule. You know what I mean? And so so you got to make sure that you're not feeding into, your child, because they're just being children, because they're used to one thing and now they have to do something else, which brings us to number 10, which is give the child a chance to adjust. Right? Yeah. So they've been with you for 2 days and you've given them a list of your rules. And if your rules are really different from what they're accustomed to, you've got to give them time to adjust.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be fair in this thing. You can't just be like, well, I gave them the list of rules and these my rules and hey, they shouldn't break it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You just come out the gate full-fledged, belt swinging, like they broke a rule, that's it. Like, give them a chance, because really they may not have remembered, right? They, especially if it's something, if it's really something that's so opposite, which goes back to Tony's point of you as the biological parent who's having the child for the summer, it's upon you to find out what they're used to. What are the rules of the house when it comes to bedtime, when it comes to going outside, so that you can say, oh, well, you know what? This is a rule that they are not accustomed to. So let me just pump my brakes just a little bit and give them just a little time to adjust to this new thing.
Right.
Because it's totally opposite of what they're used to. Another example would be if they're not used to going to church on Sundays and you are going to church on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, like they're not used to that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give them an opportunity to be like, to ask you, like, why do we need to go to church 4 days out of the week?
And do you need to take them all those days?
I mean, but they may be in leadership. They may have different things, you know what I mean? But you got to understand that if they're not accustomed to going to church every time, it may be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They may not understand it. So you want to give them that time to adjust and understand that they're not used to it. Okay, number 11. Kind of already talked about this, was creating a space for the child. So if the child has to share a room, if the child has to be in the same room with their siblings, then at least carve out a little space, because everybody in every house has that one space. Right? You know where you can find that one person at, because they found the space. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They found that space that's just their own. Make sure that you are really intentional about allowing that child to come in and either find a space, or you carve out a space that they can just go to and retreat. And this is their own personal space. Their space where they can read a book, a place where they can sit down and play on their game. They can play with their iPad. They can do something where it's just their space while they're visiting, right? And I mean, I know it's kind of harsh. It seems like we're saying like they're visitors. You know what I mean? It's still their home away from their home. And so therefore you want to make it a space that is their own. And so even when they come back for visitations throughout the year, that's still their space, right? Because we're not talking about guests who just coming in, from out of town.
Right.
We're talking about your children. And so, but it's different because they're there every day in the summer. And so we want to make sure we're including that. And then last but not least, again, we already kind of talked about this, creating a structure and some routine. Right? Children that attend school spend a lot of time in a structured environment and participate in activities in an environment that makes them make friends. And making friends can be helpful to a child that's adjusting to a new location over the summer. And the first thing I thought about was when we used to stay at my grandma's house while where my dad stays now, the house was being built. We stayed with my grandma's house. We had just returned from Texas. And I remember that summer, it was like the best summer ever. Staying with my grandma. Again, different set of rules. We stayed with my grandma. That's a whole nother story. But I remember specifically this little girl coming up from North Carolina, and she had to come stay with her father. And he stayed there with his mom. So she was staying with her grandmother and her father for the summer. And when she saw us outside, I think it was her grandmother that saw all the kids outside, and she walked up to us and asked us, could we embrace her granddaughter? She was up here, she didn't know anybody, and we ended up befriending her. And of course she was shy, she was nervous, she didn't know anybody, she had never been to the city before, she's just used to being out in the country somewhere, and this was different for her. Right. You know what I mean? And so I remember her grandmother telling us, wow, you guys really made such an really helped, because she didn't know what to do with her. You know what I mean? It's her grandmother and her father. I mean, come on, no other kids. Right? There's no siblings, there's no brothers. It was just her grandmother, and her father. What type of summer
would that
have been in an apartment? Like, we went in their apartment. It was like 2 bedrooms. It was a smaller apartment. And she literally was just in there. So it really helps if you, even if you don't have children in your home outside of the child that's coming for the summer, that you know your neighbors. You know what I mean? So you know your neighbors who have children. So try to make it so that you are helping to form relationships and friendships so that the children have something to do, right? Friendship is very important.
And don't force it, because I can remember when I went to go visit my aunt when they was in Nebraska, and she just tried to just force me.
Play with them.
Go play with them. Right. And I was I don't know them. And that was, for me, that was the first experience leaving Arkansas, going to another place. And I was like, I don't know those kids. And it was no form of introduction, hey, this is my nephew, hey, could he play with you guys? Nothing like that. Right. So eventually it came around to I got to know them, but it was very awkward at the very beginning because they didn't know me, I didn't know them, and it was just like standoffish.
Yeah. And so, but it's cool to let the friendships develop on their own, and understand that there may be some adjustments. So those were just 12 ways that you can help to blend over the summer. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get our special guest ready to come up and join us up here as we continue our talk about fun. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Business owners looking for a place to advertise your business and promote your products and services? VoxWave is the right place. We have over 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For more information, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
VoxWave now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page, where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at our studio, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
Android users, the VoxWave app is now available in the Google Play Store. Download the app today on your Android device to listen in and view programs.
Rick Entertainment, the hottest DJ in the DMV area. CEO of Step Your Game Up in the Youth Project Show. The DJ on the Heartbeat Congo Hour and sound engineer for a variety of bands. DJ Rick Entertainment is your #1 company for all your stage and sound event needs. Call 202-749-7903. That's 202-749-7903. DJ Rick Entertainment.
What up, DC? If you're looking for the latest in DMV culture, music, and celebrity news, make sure you tune in to me, your girl, MC Fran, from 8 to 9 p.m. on VoxWave.com. The Fantastic Live Show.
Welcome back to In the Mix with the Mitchells, and you can see here we have our very, very, very special guest.
Yes. Yes, we are ready. You've heard us talk about these two little people, so we want to introduce to you Samuel Mitchell and Ariana Mitchell. All right, so Ariana, tell the people about you. How old are you?
6.
You 6. Can you tell them what you like to do?
I like to race.
You like to race, and what else?
Play games.
Mm-hmm.
Learn. Do math and read.
And read. Okay, Sammy, how old are you?
5.
5. Okay, tell the people what you like to do.
I like to run around and play and shout and play at the playground, then do some work, and I will go to school.
You ready to go to school? What grade are you guys about to go in? Don't touch the mic. What grade are you about to go to?
1st grade.
And what grade you about to go to?
Kindergarten.
Yeah. Kindergarten. Okay, so you wanted to come out and we was talking about fun. So me and my daddy did a lot of talking about fun and having fun and what we like to do for fun. So what are some things that we have done that you want to tell those who are listening that they should do with their kids?
They should watch over their kids.
Mm-hmm. Like, what should they go for fun? Like, what's some fun things we've done?
Like take them to the pool, take them to some field trips, take them for
Don't touch
some stuff, take them to the park, and take good care of them.
Take good care of them. Okay, Sammy, what's your ideas for some things that's fun?
At Bible Baby.
You have fun at Bible Baby. So, like we was talking about, Bible Babies is the child development center that he went to, and so again, taking them to the child development centers will not only teach them, but will also give them fun things to do.
Exactly.
So, what else did you want to say? Because you was like, oh, I got something to tell the people. So what do you want to tell them?
Tuesday. I want to tell them that Mommy and Daddy, those teddies are for you who lost your babies, and that even it comes with bracelets.
Oh, you're talking about Anaya's project. Okay. So what do you want to tell the people about Anaya's project? So you were saying that the bears, we have what she's talking about are our grief boxes and our promise box and our hope box with Anaya's project. And so she has helped with the bears. She's seen the bears and the bracelets that come inside the boxes. And so she's saying that the boxes and the bears are for those who have lost their babies. So what else did you want to tell the people?
Mommy and Daddy, they just keep on moving on. They stay up all night to talk about what is for a nice project, and they just keep on talking about it.
We talk about it a lot. Yeah, we do. Now, Sammy, what are some things that... Okay, so, Sammy, who's fun? Mommy or Daddy?
For you guys.
Ah, that's a good answer,
Good answer,
Sam. Okay, so where do you like to go, Sammy, that is fun, that we do? Daddy, all of us when we go together.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, so tell the audience about your big brothers. How do you feel about... Let's start with Keith.
He feel fun. He play funny stuff for us.
He play funny stuff with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what about you, Ari? What about Keith? Is Keith a good big brother?
Good.
Yeah, what does he do? Tell him about Keith.
He plays games with us.
What type of games does he play?
Hide and seek, tag, and rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So, does your brother show you a lot of love?
Yes.
Yes. So it's good having really big brothers, right? Right? Okay.
Daniel.
Oh, okay. So let's get to Daniel. So we had Daniel on the show, right? And for some of you who may have missed Daniel,
Yeah.
Daniel is 17. So tell them about Daniel. How is Daniel as a big brother?
He's mean. That's what he can beat us up.
Daniel is mean.
He's mean.
How is Daniel mean?
He keep beating us up. When we say stop, he keep beating us up.
He do. But that's what brothers do. Now, does Daniel love you?
Yes.
You gotta think about it.
Nope, he does not.
Stop. Okay, so we talking about families, right? We're perfect family blend, right? In the mix with the Mitchells, right? You've seen us do these.
Joiner.
Yes, Daniel's last name and Keith's last name is Joyner. So what do you think about their names being different?
I think his name could be different.
You think his name could be different? Does it matter that his name is different? He's still your what?
Big brother.
Yeah, so name doesn't matter, right? Does it matter? You think it matters? It does. What you want his last name to be?
I want his last name to be Mitchell.
You want his last name to be Mitchell? It's so funny. Okay, I understand that. Why? Because that's your last name?
No.
Why?
I want him to be Mitchell like us.
Oh, like you? Oh. Okay, so let's tell the audience, because remember we were talking about, we wanted you to talk about what the parents could do to be fun.
Yes. They could take them to go. They could take them to field trips.
Oh yeah, so we was gonna talk about what's boring, like what tell them what might be boring for kids to do.
Just sit around, watching TV, or
Right, just staying in the house watching TV. That's boring. So they shouldn't changing the channels from which y'all watching, right?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
boring.
pretty sure. Let them do something fun, like play around. Yeah,
Like play around.
Like go to a park. Go park, play the Wii.
Oh, play the Wii. They think the Wii is new, y'all. They
Yes,
the Wii is old, but they love the Wii. Huh?
This is brand new.
It's brand new. It's brand new when you
new to
5
them.
and 6. Yep, it's brand new.
Brand new. And especially let them play
Minecraft.
Yes.
So if you're wondering, okay, so let's say there's a lot of summertime birthdays coming up, and sometimes people ask us like, what's the new thing? What kids are into? So she just mentioned Minecraft. That's fine. Minecraft. All right. What else is something popular that parents need to know the kids like?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E.
Cheese.
Cheese. Okay.
What's the place that you really love to go to every summer?
Six Flags.
Six Flags. Right, but what are some characters that kids like? We talked about Minecraft. What else?
Superman.
Fortnite. Superman.
Wonder Woman.
Okay, Wonder Woman.
Batman.
Supergirl. Who else?
Batman. Batgirl.
Y'all don't watch no Batgirl, Batman.
Batman.
What's the other characters that you talk about all the time?
I talk about Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, right?
I think
How about those LOL dolls?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
LOLs.
Julian.
Who?
Julian.
Julian is your
my
friend,
God.
right? So think about their friends that they may be talking to, guys. Like, really think about the friends that they talk about over and over and over and over again.
I talk about Dominic.
Yeah. Dominic.
Yeah.
I talk about you talk about Kate.
All right, so as we get ready to come to the end of the radio show, what is one fun thing you want to tell the people about you?
I heard Anaya.
Anaya is very important to you. Why is Anaya important to you?
Because she's my sister and she's very important because I love her in my whole soul.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Mommy, I did heart.
You said your heart.
And I was gonna say God.
Oh, and God is important to you. Yes, that's good. Yeah, so it's important that you talk to your children if you a Christian, whatever your beliefs are. For us it's Christianity and Jesus, so they know all about it. They pray. And so it's important. So we just wanted to introduce them. They have been asking to come on here and come to the radio show, and we wanted to bring them as we talk about fun. And actually next week is our vacation week, and we can't wait, right?
Right. Yeah.
What?
Disneyland.
Oh, we have got to get him to Disneyland or Disney World because he wants to go next year. Yeah,
We
they
want
think
to see Mickey Mouse. We want to see Mickey Mouse. The pirate Mickey Mouse.
right, the pirate Mickey Mouse,
I
right?
wanna
So
see
anybody
Pluto.
wants to donate towards the Mitchell trip to Disney World?
Yay!
Cash App us. We taking all donations.
Yes.
Taking all donations.
Power.
This is our Hollywood star. I'm sure she's going to be on something.
Yeah.
But listen, we are at the end of our time, and so we wanted to just say thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Please make sure, no matter what you do, that you're intentional at
Yes,
growing
thank you
your
for
family. And spending time with your family individually,
Bye,
right? Because
guys.
don't we do that? Oh, that's what I want to ask. Don't we spend time with you, each one, doing something that you
Yes.
like to do?
Yes.
Like riding bikes and going places, getting our nails done. Sammy going to...
I don't go to nail spot.
No, you don't go
One
to...
time I went there. No, I don't no more.
All right.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're spending time doing the things
Yes.
that you're
Bye-bye, guys. See you later.
making sure that you do with your child. Okay, Sam, hold on. Making
Yes.
sure that you do what your children want to do, when they want to do it, and just being flexible. So I'm Cynthia Mitchell.
And I am. Oh.
Ariana Mitchell. Sammy.
And and we are in the mix with the Mitchells. Thank you for joining us this week.
Yes,
We'll see you next time.
bye-bye.
Bye.